Hi, it's Denise. Welcome to my home. Well, we have something ahead that should be pretty fun, so I would ask you to stay tuned. Hi, it's Denise. Welcome to my home. Oh, goodness, it's been a long day. Done lots of stuff. You know, I have lots to share with you. Um, if you're new, welcome, welcome. Come on, sit down, put your feet up. Oh, Hunter, you know what? You're not going to get to stay here very long because I'm going to have to bend over here. This is Hunter. He's kind of the crew chief here, aren't you? If you're coming back, my friends, I love you so much. You know, you make my day. You really do. And those of you that are new, I just would ask that you'd stick around and see what there is to see. I think you'll really enjoy it here. If you enjoy the content, I would invite you to subscribe, to like, and to comment. If you take the time to comment, I will answer those comments. And we just, we've gotten to know each other, and it's really fun. What I'd like to do tonight, it is tonight. It's like 20 minutes to 8. I know it's late. I kind of like to tell you a little bit about my day first. Is that okay? How was your day? Did you get much accomplished and do things? Did you enjoy the sunshine? Well, I called the other Dollar Tree, and guess what? They had more netting, so I can finish my wreath. We went over to Dollar Tree, and I was able to get that. I also got some lipstick. I was about out, and I got some lipstick and lip gloss, and I think it's pretty okay. I could show you everything I got, but I didn't get that much, and that's not what this is about. But I did go back to Habitat. 2 days in a row, I went to Habitat. That's pretty fun. One thing that I found, the ongoing saga of my dog, I found these little diapers, and they're actually for a female when she's in heat. And I thought, well, maybe these would work for him. Even this one has a skirt on it. Sorry, baby. And they don't fit him. There's a place for his tail. It just doesn't go up high enough to cover his private parts. Not big enough. I had 5 pair of them. So these are going to go to Josie to put on her babies. They have a tail hole, but she won't care. They're great little diapers. I tried, I tried. So what we're going to do tonight, I'd like to show you some of the things that I've done. Yes, I see you. I love you. Do you remember the haul from Habitat? Do you remember any of the jewelry and the stuff that I've hauled? Do you remember the belt with the medallions? it had several medallions, and this is one of the pieces that I've made from it. Turn it around here. I was able to double up the bottom medallion and hang pretties on it, and it's turned into a really pretty necklace. Let me see here. Can you see that? This was fun to do, and it was fun to see that when it came together. I like it, and it won't take but a few to put together some earrings for it, so it'll be a set. I do still have a couple of medallions to make a bracelet out of as well, and I made another necklace set, and I can't find it. Anyway, that's one of them. Now, I wore this the other day. This was, I don't know if it was a belt or what it was, but I like the chain. So I took the chain and made this. It's kind of a stacked mishmash here of pretties, but it wears well. It looks really pretty when you have it on. And there again, I do have some chain left. I'm going to make some earrings for it. You can see my bumblebee shirt. It's a sweater that was in the haul yesterday. And these beads that I made just really, really match. I didn't have the shirt when I made the necklace, but then there are the earrings. And I have the bracelet in the other room. This set is complete. And it's really pretty. You know, there's some pretty little details in here that are fun. There are butterflies and flowers, hearts. And the primary color in this is yellow and yellow-orange, kind of the beads. And there are glass beads and wooden beads and metal spacers. There's lots of interest in this. I really like it. It turned out pretty. I wore this the other day too, and you probably saw it. It does have earrings. It has black and white earrings that I actually made for another black and white that I made. So I'll make another set of earrings for this that have the black and blue and white. This I think is really pretty. It has a cross. And these stones, the blue, those are stones, literally stones, that just have little holes in them. And there are glass and acrylic and wood, metal, all kinds of different things in this one. These are so fun to make. And what I have in here tonight, we're going to look at and watch and see if I can make something. I'm going to turn you down here. And let's see if the light is going to be too blinding. We'll have to switch things around if it's a problem. I don't think it will be though. I wind up with so much stuff. It's hard to see, I know. I'll put this here. I found a medium that I really, really like for threading. It is a fishing line. I don't necessarily need a needle with it, although I can use one if I want to, because it's light enough to thread, but it's also heavy enough that I can use it on its own just to thread. And I kind of just judge what I'm doing. I always cut more than what I need because I'm making knots and I need to have room to make knots. I'm going to be working with blues and wood and dark wood, light wood. And I've just hauled these. They're ceramic beads. And they're really pretty. There are some in here that are blue. And I thought maybe I could put a couple of these in it. I'm not sure. We'll see. I never know what I'm doing until I do it. These have a lot of green in them. There are a couple that are blue. But we'll see. I already took out quite a few blue beads. Oh, I wanted to show you this too. This is a choker. And I didn't get this at Habitat, but it was a salvage piece. And I fixed it. And what I plan to do is, whatever side is up, I'm going to be hanging danglies on here. So it'll go like this with dangles down. I probably cut 4 feet. Now what I found that's best for me, that works for me, is to put, these are knot covers. They're not knot covers. They're knot covers. They cover the knots that you make. They're little. And I'm learning to make knots that work. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know, now if the first one, I don't have to worry about threading it on first or anything, because I can always put it on the other side. I remember when I first learned to fish, and I remember the knots that I would make. And I thought, okay, well, maybe I can do something like that. So I do 3 loops to begin with. And I knew I'd forget something. Oh, wait a minute. I can use one of these. I use something to help the knot travel and not get stuck where I don't want it. I'll show you. These are pens, stainless steel pens. So I have 3 loops in the knot. And my hope is to get this knot to be really tight. And I'm going to make a second knot on top of it. I don't know if you can see this or not. I'm using not a lot. There's one. Two. And the third loop. Sometimes I just make 2 on the second round. And I may be sorry, but we'll just see. And this pin will help to guide my knot to the other one. So instead of having 2 knots that are far apart, hopefully they'll be right on top of each other. And the purpose of this you see I have a bunched up knot there. You see that? I put this knot cover on thread it through the other end. If I had a needle here, I'd be putting the needle through it, but I don't need it. You get it down to the end, and it covers the knot that you made, and it has 2 little loops in it that you can put your jump ring. That's the ring that holds it to either the clasp or the thing that you connect it to, and it's secure. You trim off your excess, and now I'm ready to go. I think what I'm going to do is start off with a silver bead. Just kind of make it look these are just little round silver beads. I've learned so much about this stuff over time, and I thoroughly enjoy this. I don't necessarily have all the answers yet. I don't know that I will on this side of heaven, but I try with beading. Okay, so this is the beginning. And I just have a silver bead, and there's my clasp, or the holder for the clasp. Now let's see here. Since this is around the back of the neck, I think what I'm going to do here, do I want to use these or these? I think I'm going to use these. These are too dark. So I'm going to go with, I didn't bring those in, did I? I thought I had everything. Yikes. I didn't bring my spacer beads in. Let's just see how we do with this. These are just little brown beads. All of these things are Temu, except for the things that I told you that I salvaged from Habitat. I found that everything that I do is unevenly numbered. I have 1, 3, 5, generally 1 or 3 in my patterns. So 2, 3. And I'll put a little silver bead on here. I had another one. Yes, I did. I know these trays that some people can use them and do your patterns and stuff on there. And that was what I was trying to do. And I thought, you know what? This isn't me. This isn't what I do. And I just kind of wing it. I go as I go. And I look at it. If I like it, that's great. If I don't, I'll take it out and do it over. Okay, so I have, this is the beginning. I think what I'd like to do with this is now take the light beads and do one small round and one of the dark wood. And now these are going around the back of a person's neck, so you're not necessarily seeing a lot. So I save the pretties for, you know, as we go around the front. This is always my fear. And I did earlier today. Jessie brought over her necklace that I made her. And it was one of the first things I made, and it came apart. I figured out why before that, you know, so things are staying together better. I hope. Whoops. That one's on the floor. So we'll try again. I spend a lot of time retrieving stuff. My hands work so well. I'm so very, very blessed. If you could have seen me a few years ago, you'd be amazed. Okay, so now we have this much. I'm going to use another little silver bead. So we're starting with patterns. Where'd the little little silver beads go? They're here. I brought a bunch of stuff because I'm not sure what all I'm going to do. I'm just not sure. Now, I did bring... Did I bring spacers at all? I guess not. I had a whole pile of stuff that I was going to bring in here. Wait a minute, I did. They're just on the floor. Okay, so... All right, now... Next, what I'm going to do is one white bead, and the beads that I'm going to use are barrel beads. One white bead, and a little bitty guy. You know what? That's probably not a good idea. It's time to get the regular spacers out and pick what I'm going to use. I know you're not seeing this as well as I'd like you to see it, but this is a little container that has lots of different types of spacer beads in it, in the little containers. I got this from Temu, and there are 32 containers. You know what? I did pull out some that... Wait a minute. Is this them? Yeah, I think these are the ones that I want to try to use. Okay. I did pull some out. And if these don't work, then we'll figure it out. I'm going to start with the blue. So what I have here are double spacers. I know it's hard to see them, but what I plan to do, you know, I don't know if this is going to work or not. Let me see here. It probably will. And here are some of my blue beads. These are really pretty beads. They're a darker blue. And you know, some of what I'm using are acrylic and some are glass, and you can't tell the difference. You can tell by the weight, but by looking at them, you sure can't. I can't anyway. Another spacer. These kind of have a wavy edge on them too, and they're going to be pretty. This is how it cups the bead. I'll be doing 3 beads, then 1 more white bead. Then we're going to look at what we're going to do next. I'm clueless. I'm not. It's always interesting to get to a point where we get to the center. It's always a guessing game. And then once it's the center, it's really easy, because then you continue, you know, you go backwards and you already have your pattern set. So it's not hard then. And the white barrel bead. I find that if I don't fasten these, every time I wind up with a mess on the floor. I wind up with messes on the floor anyway. And so I just am very careful. Okay, and I think what we're going to do, because I started out on the other side of this barrel bead with a silver bead, I'm going to go ahead and put a silver bead. Then we're going to decide what pattern we're going to do next. I'll show you the progress so far. Okay, this is where we are now. I like these spacers a lot. There's a lot of interest, I think, where they're wavy and they're almost a star effect. I like them. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the white, brown, white, and then we're going to use some bigger beads to start moving up. And I use the small white. Gosh, when I first started doing this, I never ever would have thought that it would be something I'd enjoy so much. One of the things I really enjoy about it too is that, you know, I'll never be doing the same thing twice. Everything has a beginning and an end, and it has its own beginning and end. You know, they're all individual. And no one will have the same thing ever from me. Wait a minute, did I put the, I think I put silver ones in between there. No, I didn't. Okay. Hunter, what are you doing? Sounds like he's chewing up something. Oh my goodness. 3 o'clock this morning. He starts barking. Bark, 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 bark. He wouldn't stop. There was nobody out there. There's nothing going on. He just was barking. And it was pretty not fun. That was when my day started. Because he didn't stop. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put another little silver bead on here. It's just kind of going to finish this pattern. I really wonder what he's into. I may have to get off of here for a second and check it out. He has a tendency to chew up stuff that he shouldn't. And you know, they say that's boredom, but doggone it, this dog has so many toys. Okay, so now I have this much. And what I'd like to do is look here. These beads are so fun. These are all vintage type beads. They all come together. Temu has some really fun stuff. They're flowers and all kinds of stuff. And what I need to do is look for, I have to have at least 2 of anything that I find. There's a heart, and I know there are 2 hearts. I saw them. Because coming and going. There's the other heart. Well, now are they both? Yeah. Oh, that's not what I'm doing right now, though. Now there's a round one. I may not be able to do a round one right now. Here's some that elliptical. Is that what the word is? I'm going to put this on, and then the other one I save for later. Now what am I going to put on here? I have these little round ones. There are 2 of those. I'm not sure that I'm going to use the ones that I'm pulling out here, but there are two of these. I'm just pulling out two of a kind of like Noah's Ark. Except they're not animals. They're just beads. These are pretty. I know I saw another one like this. I'm not seeing it right now, though. I probably should have done this earlier, but I didn't. There's some smaller ones. There are two of those. These aren't the same. They're the same shape, but they're not the same color. There's a ball. What about these long guys? I wonder if I'm going to find any more of these. I like these wooden ones a lot. I wonder if I can find another one of those. I'm going to stick that there for now. Those are the maybes. This is what I go through with each piece. I look and find matches so that as I'm making the jewelry, let's see here, I think I've got two of these. I just had one in my hot little hand. There we go. Oh, kitty, come on. Don't get into that stuff. Oh, here's two of the long beads. I won't be using all of these. I just want to have my options in front of me, and that helps me to make decisions. There's some that are out here that I won't use at all. But that's just kind of the way it is, you know. I don't really have a plan. Not really. My plan is to be open. And to kind of play it by ear. There's a blue one. I'm going to stick that over there. Ooh, I wonder if there's another one of these. That's a pretty bead. Oh, I'm not seeing one. I am seeing another one of these. There. Oh, this is a better color, I think. There we go. When I can find enough, then I have patterns that I can make that are really enjoyable. It's fun to have things that you can look back on and look at the beads. And it, you know, to me, it's very, very fun to, you know, just kind of peruse the beads. And see the differences. There are a lot of different beads. I wish there were two of these. Those are kind of cool too. But I don't think there are. There's a big one and a little one. Now I have what I call announcement beads. It's when you get to the center. And these are good announcement beads. They're big, and they announce the presence of something really pretty. And that would be whatever's in the center. So I think I have enough to choose from here. There are a few that I'd so like to be able to have two of. I know over there that I haven't hauled it yet, but in a bag I have stuff. Okay, we're just going to do with what we got. Okay, so we're right here, and what I want to do is I'm going to put on more blue. So I have more of the spacers. And you know, it's funny, with the light in here, a lot of the blue ones that I thought were blue are really green. So I need to be careful with what I use. So I've got enough for both sides. Or else I can use green too. That wouldn't be a bad deal. These are really pretty. They're fluorescent. So we're going to use the fluorescent ones. They're a blue-green. Let's see if these fit in the, they're little. They kind of do. What are we going to do here? I think what we're going to do is do a big bead. I'll put a spacer here. A big bead. A spacer. A little bead. How does that look? That looks good. And what are we going to put in here next? A spacer. And maybe that barrel bead. What do you think? No, it's the same shape as this one. So we got to have something different. I know. What about one of these? Okay. There. I'll put a spacer. And what shall we do? We can do of the turquoise, we can do white, blue, white, blue, white. So let's see what that looks like. Truly the color that is important in this is the blue. I know we can do a different shape. Maybe these donut ones. Let's see what that looks like. And I'll use a silver bead. I don't like anything uniform, you know, I want it to be kind of different. There's so many different shapes in here. It's fun. Let's see what this looks like. Oops, I forgot to put the silver bead on. After the blue one, I needed silver. I don't have to, but I kind of want to. Was it pretty where you were today? It was about 74 here. It was really pretty. It's going to be chilly tomorrow. And that's a sad thing. It would be nice. Oh, hear me complain. Lord, you do whatever you do. And I will just be grateful that I'm here to enjoy it. See? Okay. So we've got that one. And I think I'll do a silver bead again. What is your perfect climate? The perfect climate. What would that be? Maybe nope, that's not right. I need a spacer because that's what was at the beginning. We're getting close to the middle too. So I think my perfect climate would be little humidity and 75 year round. But that ain't happening. Oh, I wonder if I have enough to do that. I have an idea. But I have to have a few more of those. Otherwise, we'll go in a different direction. Here's a wood one. I know they're not the same. And I'll show you how that would work if I have enough to do it. I may not be able to do this, what I have in mind. I've got some of these. Here's another one. Maybe I'll use those instead. I don't remember if I had two of these or not. That would be cool if I did, because that's really pretty. Well, Denise, you've kind of picked over all these beads, haven't you? I haven't meant to just pick them over. I do use them in pretty things. Oh, now that's going to be pretty to do something with. Here's one that's similar. Those two are similar. But I have to be able to do it on the other side also. So whatever I do, I have to be able to come back and do on the other side. There's a wood one. one like that. Ideally, what I wanted to do and I still might be able to do this. I'll just have to take it apart and rebead it. Not the whole thing. Are you getting bored yet? I know you probably can't see me going through these beads. I'm sorry. I've got some ideas with those. Is that the same? No. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I had wanted to do to begin with. And that's perfectly fine. It just means I'm going in a different direction. And I'm just kind of taking those out. Okay. I'm taking these out too. Oh. I think I've got enough beads now to make 2 necklaces. But I gotta have the choices. I just need to have the choices. Okay. So there are 2 more of those. So I can't do it. I've got to do something different. And that's okay. Ba-dum. A big blue one. Where are my larger ones? Well, you know what? Let's see. There's 3. I've got to see how many of these I have. I've got lots of these tiny ones, the fluorescent ones, and we'll be using those. Now these are kind of interesting beads. They're different, and I was able to find 2 of each one of these. So maybe this is what I'll use. I will. And we'll go ahead and finish it back it out, using the same pattern. I know I'm kind of talking in circles here. I'm thinking that way. I don't really measure with a measuring tape. We still have a little ways to go before the center. So what I'm going to do is do the same that I had coming into this with the donut shaped ones and the blue. I'll show you. Oops. Here's the donut shape. I need to sit up here, don't I? I'm really sorry. I know it's hard to see. Okay. So we've got that. And I need a silver one. And a little blue one. I'm kind of reversing the pattern a little bit. But that's not really what I'm doing. It's just completing a pattern. And a silver. I'll show you. I will, I'll show you. And one more donut one. One nice thing about using this type of stuff to thread is that it can go through. Some of the beads have tiny holes, and it goes through pretty well. Okay, so we're here, and you see this is the middle part, and it's started with the donut, the blue, the donut, then the longer one, blue one, and then the donut, the blue, the donut. So now I can look at doing something else. And I think what I'm going to do is I have well, I have more than 4, but I have 4 of these guys. I'll use them with blue. I'm going to put it right back up here so you can see. It's just getting this little hole. I'm looking to put a silver one on here. Is that what I want to do? No, I want to put a spacer. I wonder if these are going to look okay with a spacer. It's not big enough. Plan B. Okay. So the next plan would be to use these guys. Yeah, I like that better, don't you? I'll put a spacer. And I have some where are they? I had to, oh, here they are. Here are two big blue beads, so I can use one now and one later. It's kind of crowded up here, huh? And a spacer. So we're getting close to the center. And I start looking at, well, not that one, at what beads I'm going to use to announce the center. Let me see here. We haven't used these yet. And I think what I'd like to do, I'm going to kind of take and use these blue ones almost as a spacer. And use these guys. And the little blue beads. And with this I have 3 blue. Now I think that lengthwise we're about where we need to be to start looking at the center again. Okay. I don't think I like that. So we're going to put silver beads in between these and carry the silver through. I don't dislike the blue and the brown, but I think that we need to stay consistent with silver. So I'll put a little silver bead on here. Oh my goodness, I keep dropping. I'm gonna have to get down here and pick up what I dropped. Oh dear. The vacuum will suck it up and I'll never see it again. So then I'll put on this long little doodad here. And a silver bead. And where did my little blue one go? Here. And a silver bead. I'll show you in just a second what it looks like. It looks better, I'm sure. And then I want one more of these guys. And a silver bead. Okay, where's the hole? There it is. Okay, we need one more blue bead. And a silver. Then we're at a point where we can do the announcement beads and the center hanging down. Because that's kind of my signature. I always like to put something hanging down in the front. I just kind of like to do that. Okay, this is what we have so far. And how are we going to do this in the middle? I think what we can do is maybe that's what we'll use. These. I'm not sure how this is going to look, so if I scratch it, don't fret. I have other ideas too. Now see, that eats up the bead. Not a good idea. Or else I need to do something other than the silver bead on that side. Let's try it with a spacer. I don't think I want to use those beads. I'm going to use the wooden ones. These guys. And you know, I could go ahead and use the silver because I think that that really is important to follow through with that design. Then I can use a spacer between this one and the next one. I'm thinking out loud, and I'm probably thinking, like, what is she saying? Forgive me for that. I really kind of think in pictures, and when I try to put it to words, it's kind of hard. Okay. Now I'm going to put a spacer. And what do we have here? Maybe now is the right time for these. No, this goes on the other side. I've already got those on there. Okay. Is this gonna work? Is it gonna work? I guess we'll see, huh? Boy, it's big. Nope, it goes right into the bead. Nope, that's not going to do it. So let's see what else we can do. Maybe these guys would be good in the front. Okay. And what I'm looking at, let me see here. I want to, where are my jump rings? Here they are. Let's see if I have one big enough to do what I'm thinking. I think I do. I have some in the other room that are big. I don't know if this is big enough. That's gold too. I don't want gold. Silver. So let's see what this looks like. I don't know if that's going to work. I'll have to go and get the great big jump rings that I have. If this one doesn't work. I don't think this one is going to work, even though it's big. What I'm thinking about doing is having this in the middle of the two of these guys, and then having a big enough jump ring through here that I can hang things off of it. I honestly don't think I have a silver one that's big enough for that. Let's see if I open this in a different way. Let's see here. Maybe that'll work. And this just may be ugly and I won't do it. I don't know. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try it and see. Because you just never know. Oops. Okay. I may be dooming this project from the very get here. I don't know. In my mind's eye, it looks okay. But see, it's coming out, so it's probably not going to work. I need a big pair of pliers, and I don't, oh, let's say these might work. No, this isn't going to work. Not the way I want it to. That's okay. You know, maybe this is, instead of using the wooden ones, this is where I'll use the ceramic. I think those would be really pretty. And maybe I would even use the ones that have the green in them. I think I'm going to. Okay, so I have this spacer. I'm going to put this bead on. And I have a charm holder thing that I'm going to put on here. I brought it out. Where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I'm going to put this on. Oh, wait a minute, that's not the way it goes. It goes this way. And what I'm going to do, so it doesn't put any stress on the line, I'm going to put a bead in here. And it'll be, you won't see it, but the charm holder will float on top of it rather than on top of the fishing line. This might not be the right bead. No, it's got to be a smaller one. Let's see here. Let's try this one. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It produces kind of a, gosh, what would you call it? Insulation. Against the charm holder abrasing, make an abrasion on the fishing line. There we go. I'm going to put the other one on here. And then we're going to go backwards. Once we get to this point, it gets easier because then I'm not having to look to create a new pattern. It's just going back and going backwards with what we did before. So I'll put a see, here's the charm holder, and it's kind of floating around now, but it won't. Once it has the charm, you know, this stuff hanging on it, it'll rest the way it's supposed to. At least it should. I'm telling it to. So we have charm holder. And this is the other. See, some of these beads I didn't even use. And that's fine because, you know, you just never know what you're going to wind up with. And when you go backwards, you just go back and see what it was that you did and the bead before. Like here's the charm holder, that's the middle, and you see, yeah, the two beads here, the announcement beads, and then you have the two here, and then we're going to go to silver, blue, silver, and then these guys. So now it's just going backwards. So I need a silver one. So far, this has worked for me. You know, I don't plan a whole necklace in advance or anything like that. My patterns are just they kind of happen. And I've been happy with them. What are these guys? And then silver. And as time moves forward, I may do things differently, I don't know. But this kind of seems like what works for me. And we've been on here for a while now. I know that I can't tell. It's been over an hour. Oh goodness. I should probably get off of here and get this out, and then I can show this to you when we got the first part of it done. That's the hardest part. The time just slips by. So, if you've enjoyed the content, I would invite you to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Just subscribe. You'll be seeing lots of different things on these videos. It isn't just beading or just anything in particular. There are different things that we do. Kind of dark. I think you'll enjoy the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. And until next time,